That's what it sounded like at a Publix supermarket in Deerfield Beach, Florida, where the large holiday displays for Hanukkah and Christmas are right beside each other. Aside from the chocolate Maccabees, which I had to buy, of course, and the usual boxes of Hanukkah candles, there are large white and blue boxes of Publix-branded Hanukkah House cookie kits. They sell for $11.99. They've got a kosher dairy symbol on the front, and the box is designed with blue dreidels. When you look more closely, it says these do-it-yourself Hanukkah House cookie kits are made in Canada. Over on the Christmas shelves, there's a nearly identical-looking box. It's to build a holiday gingerbread house, and it's decorated with brown Christmas ornaments, and this product is also made in Canada. So, of course, I bought one of the Hanukkah cookie boxes for research purposes, and I asked the Kosher King Facebook group for help. So thank you, Jacob Rosenfeld, for the tip, because it turns out they're all made in a kosher factory in Brampton, Ontario, with the approval of both Toronto's Kashrut Council of Canada and the Orthodox Union in the United States. They also make kosher Hanukkah products for Manischewitz, including Hanukkah cookie houses, and Manischewitz's new line this year, ugly Hanukkah sweater cookies. The Canadian producer thinks there's nothing weird about it.
And it's really up to the kids' imagination. Like, let's be real. It's we want the kids to be creative and have fun. And that's the idea, is just to for the kids to decorate the house on how they see fit and to display it hopefully on their mantle.
I'm Ellin, and this is what Jewish Canada sounds like for Monday, November the 29th, 2021. Welcome to the CJN Daily from Florida, sponsored by Metropia. Did you ever hear of two-bite brownies? They're probably the highest profile sweet treats produced by Give and Go Bakeries, an Ontario company whose CEO is Joel Flatt. And this holiday season, their Build a Hanukkah House cookie kits are selling in the southeastern United States in Publix stores. And the Manischewitz branded ones, which they make, are available on Amazon and at Walmart and Target and Michael's, although the Manischewitz ones are slightly different because they include candy Hanukkah menorahs and what's described as a 6-point star. Now, the marketing information suggests that you should buy one to start a new family tradition. Some people might think it's just another example of how consumerism is watering down a Jewish holiday, although it might not get as big a backlash as Impossible Foods did when it put out a plant-based version of pork and the folks wondered if it would be kosher. I'll leave it up to you to decide yay or nay on these holiday Hanukkah cookie house kits, but just so you know, the Ontario rabbis who certified it build their own with their own kids, and the Jewish Federation in Atlanta sponsored a house building contest with these kits, and they pit two synagogues against each other for charity. And this year, Manishewitz's boxes include a subscription for PJ Library in every kit, which is free Jewish books for, quote, families raising children with Jewish values and traditions, unquote. Coming up, we'll hear from the Canadian company who makes the kits. And yes, they also make the Christmas ones, and they're kosher, and they make one for Muslims, too, for Eid. But first, here's what's making news elsewhere in Canada right now.
I'm Jonah Babbins in Toronto, and this is what Jewish Canada sounds like.
And I'm Ben Train in Trouble, and this is what Jewish Canada sounds like.
An Ottawa graphic designer has convinced Canada Post to create the first ever postmark for Hanukkah. So this means that if you send pre-stamped envelopes with Hanukkah cards or any other letters to the postmaster in the small community of Disraeli, Quebec, near Sherbrooke, they'll postmark them with this special mark which shows dreidels, a Chanukiah, and Happy Hanukkah from Disraeli, Quebec, in English and in French. And the postmark also includes a picture of the former Jewish-born British Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli. Irv Osterer worked with the late Rabbi Bulka on this project, and their original idea was to do something for Jewish mail, just like Christmas Island, Nova Scotia does, for people around the world who want the Christmas stamp on their letters. So if you want the address and where to mail the Disraeli post office, get in touch with me and I'll send it to you. I'm at ebessner, that's EBESSNER, at thecjn.ca. Way to go, Irv. Super cool. Blair Klayman is Vice President of Marketing and Innovation, and he's the man responsible for the baked kits, including Hanukkah houses and the Manischewitz cookies. And he joins me now from Give and Go's headquarters near the Toronto airport. So why don't you walk us through
the product. How new is it? How did it get to be in my store in Florida?
Well, obviously the whole idea of a holiday house is a tradition going back a long time. Comes from Germany, and it's a English-German tradition that's came across. And the Hanukkah kit itself was something obviously that is a rarity. If you think about it, things traditionally that kids do during Hanukkah, they were spitting the dreidel, doing the things that had to do with the geld and everything like that. Publix, which is retail obviously in the southern Florida and along the eastern seaboard, has a very diverse customer group, and Jewish clientele is a big part of their group. So a buyer probably around 10 years ago saw an opportunity, actually customers who were Jewish buying these kits for their families. And they saw it as an opportunity, saying, well, they're buying them. They're obviously, Hanukkah as an opportunity is a traditional family occasion where people gather as a group, and that's what holiday houses do. They're an activity for families that get together. So this buyer saw it as an opportunity, and we were currently selling houses to them, their whole Christmas assortment, and they came to us and said, can you develop a Hanukkah house? And so our team got to thinking about what we need to make sure that this is focused on the quote unquote make sure for our Jewish customers. And obviously the thing we had to look at, we had to make sure our candies were kosher, so we had to resource our candies, making sure that the candies we're using, obviously the gelatin we're using was a vegetable-based gelatin, and we pivoted in terms of looking at, we are moving to a kosher facility anyways, so that was part of the process that we're going to go through, and we developed a house for them, everything from the Star David on the house to the candies and the colors we use are very traditional, but it is it is still relevant to, we believe, what families love to do during this time is, no matter what holiday you're celebrating, you're with your family and you want to have great activities, and the product's done very well for itself. Publix is right now actually the only retailer that is focusing on it. We did years ago sell this in Canada, but with Sobeys, but that is they're no longer listing it. And then we're going to be we also make a house for a brand called Manischewitz, which also sells their houses to various retailers across North America.
Okay, so this is not new this year then, right?
This is not a new house. No, Publix has had this for a while. It is a pretty successful item for them, and they're not looking at they're only looking at growing that part of their business.
Do you guys do any other Jewishy themed houses or cookies or whatever? Like Manischewitz has 4 things. They have like the sweater cookies and all that. Do you guys do for them?
We do similar houses, similar products like that as well. It's a growing part of our business. Obviously, the holiday house business is very Christmas focused. So we are, but we're looking at doing things like, even for other religions beyond Judaism. We did a house for Eid for the retailer Metro in Canada. So we did an Eid house. We're looking at expanding those, because the reality is customers want things that are relevant to them.
What is the reaction? As we mentioned before we started recording, some people go, give me 12, and some people go, that's disgusting. So how do you deal with that dichotomy of, how it sits
indifference?
With Jewish.
Yeah, listen, I don't see it like that. Listen, I'm Jewish, and my kids decorate houses during the holidays, and that's to me it's a fun activity, no matter, and what you're decorating is what you're decorating. Kids remember it, they love it. I don't see it as, and I think if you incorporate elements from a design perspective that make it relevant, it's sort of, any religion can really own it. It doesn't, just because it started here, it's evolved into something different. And I think that's the great thing about it. So listen, there are definitely going to be consumers that believe it's something that should stay for the Christmas thing, and that's fine. So don't take part in it. But there's a lot of kids that want to take part in it and have a lot of fun doing it.
And that's what Jewish Canada sounds like for this episode of the CJN Daily, sponsored by Metropia. Integrity, community, quality, and customer care. Today's listener shout-out goes to Stephen Glazer in Jerusalem. And we'll end the episode, first of all, with my very best wishes to listeners everywhere for a happy Hanukkah. We'll also have a sneak peek at tomorrow's show, and I'll be bringing you this amazing story from the Jewish community of Prince Edward Island. They're marking a milestone this Hanukkah. For the first time ever in the 120 years of Jews living in PEI, a large steel electric Hanukkah was being lit on the grounds of the Legislative Assembly in Charlottetown.
And the hope is that over the years, we'll be able to share Hanukkah across the island and either move the Hanukkahs around or get more Hanukkahs, so that way we can participate in this time of the year, enjoying the different festivals of light, if it's Diwali that just passed, if it's our Hanukkah, if it's Christmas with all the Christmas lights. And so it's an attempt to say that we're part of the island. We want you to see that we're here, and we're happy to be here. And hopefully we'll have Hanukkahs from Surrey all the way to Tignish being lit each year, although there's not many Jews in Tignish today.